In society today, we are being attacked constantly with inauthentic conversations. Fakeness, trying to look cool, trying to be somebody we're not. That is why the Damn Dude podcast is here to have the authentic conversations that need to be had in a way that will make you think and say, Damn Dude. Damn Dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn Dude.
This is a show where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
This show exists to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on the different contexts and perspectives that we have in life, because I truly believe that the more access we have to different contexts and perspectives, the easier, doper, smoother, and just cooler life is. Yeah, dig? I'm your host, California Cow, one of the cool Californians left in this state, and welcome to the show, you guys. Welcome. Howdy ho, howdy ho, howdy ho. No, what up, you guys? Welcome to the show. This is season 3, episode 27. Like I said, this is the Damn Dude podcast, and I am just the guy to deliver and do the talking for the messages. I'm nobody special. I just have my unique view and interpretations on things. Well, what I think is unique. Because most of the shit we think and stuff is not very unique. We just got it from somewhere else. So it's already, like, most of the things we think about have already been thought about. You know what I mean? Like, somebody else has already thought of it. And then they've already figured it out. And then they created a solution. And then we ignore their solution. And then and then all of a sudden when we accept the solution, we're like, oh man, why did I just do it? Where was this whole time? And it's like, well, you weren't smart enough to, like, or capable enough or aware enough to tap in, tune into it, and use it accurately, right? It's sometimes when it's like certain books or personal development classes or courses or things or coaches or anything of that sort, it's like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, right? And that's one of those things where it's like, fuck, it's a frustrating thing because I look at myself as a student and a teacher. And I aim to always be both to the best of my abilities in the appropriate situations, right? Excuse me. So I look at that and I think of that and I'm like, the right time, right? And what even is the right time? You know, it's like, when is the right time to do something? And it's seemingly when you have an idea about something, right? Like when we have an idea about something and we've gone through all the excuses, reasons, fears, justifications, all of those different things, and we've come to an agreement with ourselves entirely, which would be our brain, our spirit, and our physical self. And, you know, I guess our consciousness and our subconsciousness and all the things that play into us doing decision making or just living life. So, you know, it's like people say the time is now. And yes, absolutely. And sometimes there's things that take time to build, and sometimes there's things that take time to adjust and correct, and there's still other lessons that would devastate and interfere with you going all in on doing it just right now, right? It's like a certain level of planning and structure helps ensure proper success. And that's one thing that I've experienced, especially doing business and working for myself for the past, you know, almost 13, 14 years now, is that when I started off doing business and teaching babies to swim, I didn't have a real plan. My plan was just to be free from working from anybody. Or working for anybody, I should say. Like having a boss, I mean, because all I do is work for people, right? It's like if I'm of service, I work for the people. But what I mean is like having a direct boss or anybody tell me what to do. It's like I work for the people, but at the same time I could tell the people no, right? Or like things like that. So that's kind of what's like a trip. So I realized that my goal was just to not have a boss and work for my fucking self. And that to me was the most brilliant thing I could fucking come up with at that age and at that point in time with my consciousness and level of knowledge and understanding and views on life and stuff, right? So my plan, all my whole business plan and everything was just so not even a plan. Like there wasn't even any like end result. You know what I mean? It's just like make a lot of money and fucking, you know, be able to help a lot of kids. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? And I had made a lot of money and I have helped a lot of kids. So it's like I've done that. Now what? Like I realized that is good and it's not very big or necessarily a good plan or intelligent or precise. It's just a good thing. You know what I mean? So like I'm looking at life and as I like restructure pretty much all of my life in so many different regards, I'm like, all right, like now is this huge time of rebuilding and restructuring my life in every regard. And since I've really started this podcast, you guys have been along the journey. You guys were there when I was in my last relationship. And then you guys were there when I fucking split and I was out on my own and I'm fucking, you know, staying at my dad's. I'm fucking living in my car. I'm fucking, I get the apartment. I'm fucking, you know, you guys were with me recording episodes when I'm fucking sleeping in my car and I'm like going to the casino to like refresh and use the bathrooms and fucking, you know, take advantage of free amenities and shit like that, right? So it's like, all right, you know, and it's like you got a safe parking lot to sleep at the casino. Now, I don't recommend if you are in a position to where you have to go sleep in your car that you go the casino route because it's not the best place to be. Like, because they have security going around, there's just people, there's just so much, the lights stay on 24/7. It's just a lot and it's not really worth it all the way, right? Like, I don't know. Anyways, I didn't plan to go into any of that, but you know, it's funny. It's just like, well, these are just the realities of when you fucking go through some shit, right? Like that's what I went through. I was in the fucking lobby at the hotel, at the casino, you know, just recording episodes on my phone, and you know, from like not having a studio set up and all having a nice studio to having my whole own private studio to having to just record episodes on my phone to like just adapting, adjusting. I fucking disappeared a couple weeks ago, you know, to you guys. And it's just like, fuck, okay, you know. So what I'm learning and realizing is like, for me now is the right time to really start like rebuilding, restructuring, and putting into place an exact vision and an exact goal, because my level of understanding life and goals and achievements and what it takes to achieve a certain goal or achievement, the precision that it takes and the preciseness or precision, I don't know what the difference between those would be. I think it's the same thing. The precision it takes to get exactly what you want out of life in a way that, not even in a way that you want it, but better than you want it. Like, for example, like I think about my relationship now and I'm just like, oh my God, like this is the best relationship by far that I could even fathom, because it blows my mind beyond what I could have even imagined it to be. Now, how I feel like I even get to indulge in this experience is because I really have been going and doing the deep inner work on myself. And I've been going and I've been healing and loving and showing compassion to parts of me that were hurt or incomplete or malnourished or mistreated, or, you know, like I took on trauma or bad ways of thinking or negative ways of thinking or negative outlooks, or carrying a certain load of chaos with me, because for myself, and I was talking to my mom about this earlier, it's like, I find comfort in chaos. I really do. Like, I do so much better in chaos. Like, when shit's just chilling, I'm like, okay, you know, like, I'm a very present person, but it's like, as I'm observing what's present, I realize I'm looking for chaos. And not in a way where it's like, how can I start trouble or this or that? More like, all right, making sure, it's like my level of making sure things are safe and making sure people are taken care of. It's a double-edged sword. It's a positive and a negative, right? It's like the way that I look out for people, it's very vigilant and it's very observant. And I often will see little things and nuances and notice little quirks or tweaks or things, the way that people move or say things, or carry an energy about things or something like that, that I'm able to pick up on very, very easily and quickly. But it's like, that's also the same thing that makes me feel paranoid or scared, or like feel like chaos is coming or going or something of that sort, right? Like, I still have a lot of sorting out to do with that whole idea. But like, I understand this about myself, that I almost do better under pressure. Like, if I have to go give a speech in front of I've given a speech in front of like 300 plus people before, and I just went up and did it, right? And it's like any other time I've like had to go up and speak in front of people, or like give a speech at like business meetings, or I'm hosting a business event and I gotta fucking stand up and speak in front of a crowd and explain stuff or shit like that. It's like, it's where was I going with that? Man, I just completely lost my train of thought with that, you guys. I'm sorry. Oh, got it. It's like, when I have to do that, when I have to go up and speak in front of people, I don't practice. Like, now I kind of learn to practice in a different sort of way. Excuse me. I'm trying to drink some water. My bottle's being all weird. So now if I have to go give a speech, like last time I had to go give a speech was in front of my business group I was in, and I had to speak for 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, that's pretty easy actually. Like, I'm like, damn, it's actually going to be hard to like stay under 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, I've been practicing talking for an hour over the last like year and a half with these podcasts. Right. So it's like, I have the ability to use my voice and share my thoughts pretty well, and feelings and observations. Like, I know how to describe them very well. And which, by the way, I'm always talking about, and Sebastian, when you listen to this episode, I'm fucking always talking about you in all my episodes, or just in real life or whatever. But like, he had mentioned to me last time, is like, dude, like, there's such an art, like I was telling, and I might have mentioned this on the last one, but like, he was telling me like, dude, there's such an art to storytelling. Like, I told him a story about something, and he was just like, whoa, bro, like, I was there with you. Like, I felt it. I saw the whole thing. I was there, bro. Like, I wasn't even here when you were telling me that. Like, I was fully in the story. And he's like, dude, like, there's such an art to storytelling, and storytelling is an art. I was like, whoa, like, fuck.
Damn, dude.
That blew my mind, because it's like, I've heard that, you know what I mean? It's like E40 made a song called The Art of Storytelling, and that's a fucking sick song. That was the first time I ever really heard. I think I've heard a couple other people just randomly say it, but it didn't really hit me until I heard E40 say it years ago. And then Sebastian just re-said this to me the other, like, couple days ago. Well, I guess a couple weeks ago now. And I was just like, whoa, holy shit, you're right. You know, like, thank you, fuck, like, that's cool. You know, it's like, it just really, I'm like, okay, there's such a big piece of importance to being able to tell stories and explain and describe things. So for me, I realized that something I've been developing is like, in the midst of chaos, I can fucking come and stand up and speak and say what needs to be said. And I can say what needs to be said when it needs to be said. And I'm like, fuck, okay. There's like, I don't know. It's just, I guess here's the thing too, is like, because I've been practicing podcasting, it forces me to like speak even when there's no chaos. So I think that's why this is so healthy for me, because it's like, I'm so good in chaos that it's like, I almost am like, I'm like, where are you? Right? And like, that's not a healthy way to view life. So it's like, I mean, it is and it isn't, because that's what allows me to protect people the way I do and look out for people the way I do. But I see how if I take a step back and just zoom out just a touch farther, I don't necessarily have to like be such a protector, an immediate frontline chaos fighter or defender or participant or observer. It's more so like, I don't know, just a perspective shift. It's like, all right, well, normally when I drive home from work, I'm fucking like, I talk about the traffic, you know, if this is you. It's like, I see how much traffic there is and I see how long it's going to take me, and I'm either fucking like pissed or happy based off that. Then there's like, all right, well, fuck all that. I'm going to drive home anyways. So why don't I observe all the trees and flowers this time? I want to see how many flowers I can see on my drive home that are just on the sides of the freeway or the road or the neighborhood or whatever. Right? And it's like, it's just a perspective shift. So it's like, yes, the traffic, if that represents chaos, still exists. And you choose to focus on the flowers and not the chaos. It's like, then you can move through the chaos much smoother, beautifully, and happily. And that's where I realized, okay, because I'm somebody who comes from fucking like war and the battle zone and that sort of shit, it's like, it's like I'm on high alert for chaos. So I'm like, scale back, and it's like, I don't need to do all that. So that's where it's like, okay, I can acknowledge that there is chaos and not put my energy into it or towards it or even in my observation of it. Just accept that I'm going to go where I'm going to go and do what I got to do, and to focus on more beauty, because chaos will always exist. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no matter how many times you successfully drive your car home from wherever the fuck you go, there's still somebody that day who gets in an accident every single day. Right? So it's like, how many of us are mad when somebody else's greater chaos creates chaos for us? Real life example would be, there's a car accident on the freeway, and what normally takes you fucking 27 minutes to drive, now takes you an hour and 33 minutes that day. And you're pissed because this and that, and I'm late for this and the milk and the this and the that, whatever, right? I gotta get my kids and it's like, a lot of the things might be very valid, and you may really be truly fucking inconvenienced, and it really is making your life harder in that moment. That's all fair and valid. And it's like, what if you just got in a car accident? Wouldn't you want somebody to have a little patience for you? Right? Like, you're smeared out on the freeway. It's like, and you got people being like, man, what the fuck? It's like, sorry, I'm dying right now. Right? Like, sorry, I'm smeared out on the freeway, bro. Like, you think I did this shit on purpose? Right? So it's like, I'm just like, dude, okay, so I realized that taking a step back, looking at my relationship with my lady is like, yo, I went through such chaotic relationships and experiences and chaotic thoughts and chaotic pain and chaotic love and chaotic everything, right? It's like it's like so many elements of, not so many, all the elements of how I was and how I showed up in a relationship in the past was chaotic in every sense. Because it's like, I was modeled good relationships and I didn't have context for these models of good relationships. So it's like, I would observe these things, it's like I would see my parents do good examples of relationship. I would see other families do good examples of relationships. I would also see bad examples of relationships just amongst everybody. And I'm like, okay, I got that. I have contrast, but I don't have context, right? And it's like, that matters. So it's like, that's one thing that, we try to be conscious of with our kids is like, yo, like, all right, like, isn't it sweet that, your mom did this or that? Isn't it sweet that, your dad did this and that? Isn't it cool? And it's like, what that does is it shapes context for the kids for what they're observing. So it's like, I realize it's like, all right, I am not trying to create chaos for myself and especially for anybody else. And it's like, because I do good with chaos, how do I take a little bit different stance or approach to where I can enjoy the goodness and not focus on chaos at all? Well, that's what I realized lately is that, like, and I'm very, well, not really realized, but I should say I'm very present to, is that when me and my girl talk, or like, sorry, that's not what I meant to say. When it's the end of the day and we're kicking it, we will say, hey, we should watch a movie later or something like that. But what ends up happening is like we just sit and talk and we forget to put a movie on, or like what we're talking about's a trillion times more exciting than watching any movie. It's like sharing that love, that energy exchange, the excitement of ideas and insights and opportunities and building and, creating foundation and having really deep and hard conversations about stuff, and really taking the time to like listen to each other and care. Because it's like, that's the other piece too. It's like, well, fuck, I really do find you fascinating. And it's like, well, fuck, I really find you fascinating. Cool. And it's like, I look at, and I'm not saying it's going to be like that all the fucking time, but it's like more often than not, like if we were to look at this, if we were to just take 7 days out of the week, just right, for easy example, out of those 7, on average, we'll end up having a conversation instead of watching something probably 6 out of the 7 days, maybe 5. Like sometimes we'll watch things twice a week, but even then it's like a lot of times we're either like, I don't know, I realize that we've been using the certain TV shows and stuff as tools. So it's like, you know what, dude, like I just really want to wind down and let my brain just like view something that's just entertaining right now. And then like the other piece too is like I got kind of an old school TV, so it's not a smart TV. I don't have internet on it or whatever. So it's like if I want to watch something, I have to grab my computer. I got to go grab the little plug. I got to connect the TV to the computer, and then I got to connect the computer to a Bluetooth speaker so I can actually hear it from across the room. And then all these different steps, right? And then if there's an ad, I have to get up and walk to the fucking computer and click skip ad or whatever the fuck, right? Because I don't have any streaming services or anything like that either. So it's like we're watching YouTube or whatever, right? So then at the same time, it's like if it's not that, then a lot of times it's educational even. So I realize I'm like, all right, I've been able to like go through the chaos of relationships to be at a place where now we can well, I should speak on myself. It's like, well, she does this for me too, but it's like for myself, I'm not bringing chaos forth. Even in the midst of when there's chaotic things, it's like I know how to like not be so chaotic for other people now, and I'm getting better and learning and learning and learning. Um, so it's just really fascinating, dude, to think about how much power we have as humans and aware, conscious beings to really shape our lives and our thinking. Because that was the other thing too, is like I realized, dude, like I haven't been meditating, I haven't been doing a lot of breath work, I haven't been, like listening to a lot of stuff that's making me smarter. I haven't been listening to stuff that's making me dumber, but like I just been listening to kind of like healing kind of music. And I'll talk more about that later or something too. And I did a little in the last episode, but like shit like that, I haven't been polluting my brain, but also, whoa, what the fuck? Damn it, stop. Can you chill with this shit? Okay. Sorry guys, I realized I didn't put my phone on quiet. So because I haven't been actively participating in getting smarter lately, I'm like, okay, I need to get myself on track. So I've been doing, since moving into a new place and actually being like, okay, I live here now. Like, relax, dude. Like, get grounded, and it's like, I've been really, really, really aware and in tune, and practicing and studying more and tapping into my chakra system much more. And that's the thing, is like, for a lot of, I completely understand. It's like, oh, ooh, my chakras, but this shit is so fucking real that it's like, yo, you can think whatever the fuck you want, but it's like, this shit's real. It's very real. And if you learn about it and tap into it correctly, then you can really feel it, observe it, and experience the power that it is and has. But you have to awaken it. You have to awaken that inner spirit within inside of you, your inner serpent, your inner raw, right? Like, to crawl up your spine and just deliver the power that you are, right? So it's like, I've been really tapping in and tuning into that breath work, my meditation, just sitting on rocks, walking around barefoot, like all these different things like that. Because I'm like, I am done with chaos, dude. Like, I appreciate it and I'm done with it. I choose to focus elsewhere, right? And it's like, if I've been able to transcend the chaos in romantic relationships, if I've been able to transcend chaos in personal relationships or whatever, right? Like, why can I not transcend the relationship between my thinking, transcend the relationship between my inner spirit, transcend the relationship between my inner chakras, the inner power of myself? Why can I not transcend that? Well, I believe we can. And I think this is why, it's not I believe it, it's I know it. I know how arrogant and egotistical and stubborn and assuming and just flat out like ignorant I was in the past. And I'm not saying I'm not any of those things, or I don't have any of those qualities at times anymore. I'm sure they come up or something. I don't know. I mean, like, obviously, if you just ask me, I'm going to say, no, I don't feel like I do that. And I don't know. Right? I just say that for the sake of, I'm human and shit goes through my head, and sometimes I don't know. It's like, if you look at me and I'm thinking of something crazy, then I look offensive to you. It's like, because it's like, I know that when I have a deep thinking face or a mean face or I'm confused or I'm like thinking through shit or I'm upset face, I can like put off such this like roar, like, and where people just get like intimidated and stuff. And it's like, all right, I'm not trying to do that, And I'm not saying I'm fucking Mr. Tough Guy by any means. I'm just like, yo, like, I know that like my energy just comes off as really jagged when or if I step into that mode. And that's very rare these days. That's why I say it's like, I've been able to transcend the relationship with my anger, with my pain, with my emotional intelligence. So I think I can transcend my relationship with chaos.
Damn, dude.
And power of the chakras, it's like, you're going to really have to go look that stuff up on your own. It's going to have to speak to you. I've been told and learned many things about the chakras and the system and the realities of them and all this. And it's like, for the longest time, it just didn't speak to me. It's like I wasn't there in my consciousness yet, or in my spiritual, I guess, consciousness or awakening or whatever, right? Like my level of openness and intelligence and ability to be present and all those things. Like in waves, it's interesting to me. Over like years, like, oh, I'm like, okay, like every few months, I'm like, I'll look into it and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. But it's never enough for me to like actually remember what's what color's what, which name is what. Like I finally have it memorized that there's 7. I know where they're at. And it's like, if you tell me or you explain it, or I look at a chart, I go, oh yeah. And then I can kind of like explain it all because I know it like that. It's like when you don't all the way know the lyrics to a song and you can sing along with the song, but you can't sing the whole song by yourself. Like that's kind of how I know it right now. So I'm like learning more and more to where it's like, okay, I actually know this stuff and I remember the right terms and the right this and that and feelings for each one and all this. And it's like, the way I've learned and interpreted and pieces together for myself is that like each one is an energy source, essentially, and a life force inside of us that represents being a human being. And we have different versions of life source within us, right? Like to be grounded, your sacral, like it's just like that's its own version. To be grounded is to not be like up in the air, just, you know what I mean? It's like you're grounded, you're solid. You know where you stand, right? So it's like to really be grounded. That's definitely its own unique thing. That is a very real thing. That especially when you participate in meditation or breath work or, doing or learning or however you want to call it, you feel it and you experience it. That's a very real thing. Just as real as like happiness. It's like you can't show me happiness, but I believe that you're experiencing it, and you would believe that I'm experiencing it, right? It's one of those sorts of things. Like you can't show it to me, but it's there. So that's where it's like, okay, fascinating, because then you have, and then I'm just skipping around, but it's like, let's say then your heart chakra, how you relate to love and what love is and means to you, and how that affects the quality of your life and how that affects the people around you and how you come off to them and the amount of, or I should say the ability that you're able to give and receive at. It has to do with, you know what I'm saying? It's like love has a big part to do with how much you're able to even hear in life or how much others are able to hear you, right? It's like love has its own language and its own vibration, its own vibe, its own meaning, its own existence that is separate but connected to being grounded, right? It's like a river to an ocean. It's like they're not the same thing, but they're connected the same way. It's like the clouds are connected to the ocean and the fucking rivers and the pools and the whatever, right? Like it all has to do with each other. So that's the thing. It's like they're all related. The same way it's like the stars in the sky and the sun and the moon and the clouds are all related to the plants and the bugs and us people and spirits and God and anything else in any version of that, right? So I'm just like, dude, it's really crazy how powerful this stuff is, and the more that we can learn it and understand, then just the more powerful of humans we get to be, and the more we get to understand life. Because that's the other thing. It's like, all right, well, the more context that I can understand, the doper, smoother, easier life just is. So if I can understand more context about my own body, my own soul, our system, my own solar system, my chakras, the 7 chakras, the 7 planets, the 7 days of the week, right? It's just like all these things, right? It goes on forever. That's like kind of like saying it corny, but like this shit all adds up. I'll tell you that. And it's just really crazy how powerful these things are. And when all your chakras are aligned and spinning in the right direction, which, by the way, this is one of those things I knew, but I'd forgotten for a long time, is that your chakras are supposed to be spinning clockwise, not counterclockwise. clockwise. That's to the right. Like if you're driving a car, you turn the steering wheel to the right. You're turning right. That's clockwise. So all of our chakras are supposed to be spinning that direction. And I'm just like, fuck, like if I had that context really in my brain, body, soul, mind's eye, heart, everything, then I would participate and tap into that when I needed it. The same way that it's like I tap into different levels of meditation practices combined with emotional intelligence when I'm upset or hurt or bothered by something. It's like, oh, now's the time to induce this. Okay, start breathing. It's like, oh, like my kid's mom like said something that just fucking is just sending me off the charts and I want to just explode and lose my shit and lose my cool. But I'm like, no, hold on. That was the trigger. Okay. Observe my breathing. Okay, I'm back. And it's like now I don't even have to say that. Now I just take 2-3 breaths and then I'm back, right? And then I reset myself. I've kind of checked in. I've observed the breathing from my nose. I've checked in and breathed air into my stomach and out of my stomach, exhaled and expelled the old energy and inhaled and into new clean energy. So that in turn resets your brain. And it's really that simple as taking a deep breath a lot of times. For me, it's like I hold a lot of stress in my neck and my back and my shoulders at times. And a lot of people hold their stresses in different places, but it's very common for a lot of people to hold their stress in their shoulder or their back, or their neck or their kidneys. Some people hold it in their legs. Some people hold it in their head. It's like some people hold it in, you got people that do all different things. So that's what's so powerful about understanding the whole chakra system is that it's like they're relatable tools to check in with yourself, your own inner spirit and God that you've been blessed and ordained with, that allows you to tap in and access greatness. So I realized how much greatness I'm not able to access by being out of tune with my chakras, because it's like once all my chakras are in sync, once all the colors come together, all the vibrations come together, I now get to be a beautiful fucking rainbow, not in some crazy gay way, but in like a beautiful, how a rainbow really comes over the sky, comes through and across the sky, right? Like, so it's like in order for you to ascend to the white light, to be the beautiful rainbow in the sky, all the colors need to be on, all the vibrations need to be going, they all need to be spinning and moving and mixing the paint and stirring the energy in the right direction, so that way you get the right consistency and the right texture to be able to paint with all the colors of the wind like motherfucking Pocahontas. You dig? So, wow, that was a lot. I kind of I wrote down a whole bunch of notes like the other day for this episode, and it's kind of funny because I just kind of skipped all of them and just wrote my own notes in as I started talking. No, but okay, so I'll touch on this real quick before we jump into the next thing. Going back to my current relationship, which is just the coolest thing in the fucking world, is that when we have conversations instead of watching TV or movies or putting our attention and our care and our intelligence and time and togetherness into an outside source like the TV or movies or whatever, rather we take the time to bounce it off of each other back and forth. And it's like boom, 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 boom. And when you sit there and you feed good attention and positive energy into each other, and you reflect it and bounce it back and bounce it back and bounce it back and bounce it back, both of you are shining by the end of it. It's like watching a scary movie shoots your nerves, fucks up your sleep, fucks up your dreams. And if your nerves, your sleep, and your dreams are all fucked, what do you think your next day feels like? You know what I mean? Like, it really is this simple. But it's like a lot of us are we're caught by the trap of entertainment. The Matrix. Now it's like, it's deeper than that though too, but that's like what a lot of people, these people who talk about that are talking about. It's like if they've been able to successfully get you to stare at your TV and have a relationship with your TV and have your brain, body, and soul be directed to the TV, to be faced away from the other human in the room, the person who you love, the person who you cherish, the person who you would fight and die for, the person who you would ride for, the person who you love. Right? Like that. It's like, dude, if they can get you to take your attention away from that person, how good is your relationship? Right? And that's kind of the thing that's really fucked up, and it really like feels heartbreaking to me in a lot of ways. And I just like feel for the world or our country or society, however you want to say it. Is like when I see that, it's like people are in relationships and they just stay in them because it's easier than splitting up. And so many people just accept some shitty stuff, and then they have to kind of pretend that it's not shitty. And if you're one of those people, you probably turned this episode off already. But it's like, if you're fucking with what I'm talking about, you're like, yo, dude, like you're making some really good fucking points. Because it's true. It's like, it's really that true. Have a conversation with somebody and just turn away from them. Look how big of a difference that makes. Like a couple nights ago, I was having a talk with my lady, and like we'd just sit on the bed and just face each other and talk. And we do this all the time. And the other night I was having a tantrum about something and I was faced the other way and I was just like, ugh. And like, it just made such a big difference. Like it made her feel like, oh, like what the fuck, dude? Like, you know what I mean? Just like, dude, this is a lot. That's hurtful. Like, why aren't you facing me to talk to me? You know? And it's not like she wasn't being dramatic or this or that. And it wasn't even an argument. It was just like, I was just working through a tough thing, you know? And it was just like, okay. You know, like, and I realized that, and she said that, she's like, dude, like, you're not even facing me. Like, how am I supposed to take what you're saying, you know, like to heart, or, you know, like something along those lines. I don't know. And I was just like, fuck. And that was kind of my thing. I was just like, I don't know how this and that. It's like, I was like in such a place where I felt like I couldn't even do that for her, myself, let alone her. So it's like, I'm like, okay, that's not ideal. And it's growth. Because in the past, had I thrown a tantrum in a relationship, I would just be the other way and I would be all closed off entirely. Like, and for me, I know how to put up really big and thick and tall walls for people to not fucking get around. Like not proud of it, but it's like I can really put up huge, gnarly, offensive walls towards people, and like you'll feel it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't ever mean to do that, but it's just kind of part of like my survival system from growing up and shit. So like, I realize it's like, okay, so my walls are way lower. I don't even have a wall up. I'm just turned around. So it's like, before I would have a wall up and then another wall, then another wall, then a door that led you back to the first wall. Then you got to fucking jump it 3 more times. And then I was faced the other direction, underneath a bunker, underneath a barrier, underneath a mountain, underneath a lake. Like, really, I was just that fucking, like, you're not entering my fucking space, bro. I don't care who you are. Sorry. You know, like, my survival mechanism for that was so deep. And there's a lot of people who are proud that they can do that. And that's nothing to be proud of. That's a symbol of, fuck, I need to grow. I can cut anybody off at any time. Well, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That's on you, not anybody else. Like, you're missing out. You're robbing yourself if you're doing that. So I realized, I'm like, all right, okay. I'm doing 1,000,000,000,000 times better than old me while having this sort of like tantrum or whatever. And at the same time, this is not the most ideal and powerful way to speak. So I said, okay. I checked myself. I fucking redirected, and I kind of came back, and I was like, fuck, you know, I turned my body around. I started being more respectful. And I'm just like, fuck, you know, like, and after a while I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to, you know, to be rude or disrespectful by doing or being like that. I was just like, not able to handle myself in that moment. It felt, and it's not like I said, not like I was spazzing or whatever. It's just, in order for me to maintain being cool, I couldn't exert or address anything further. I had to just, and it wasn't long. It was just like, I was just really going through some shit that was hard in that moment. And, that's the thing though. It's like, as a man who takes responsibility for himself, I'm like, okay, that's not okay. That's not how a good man should act or communicate under any circumstance. Right? And it's like, I was still there, present enough to talk and stuff and whatever, but it's like my energy was shifted. And if I know that, then I can do better and be better. Right? And it's like, because I choose to. It's like my girl never even fucking ragged on me or anything. I'm just like, dude, like, I see this. I choose to step it up and I choose to be better because I identify with myself as being unshakable. And it's like, I can remain calm in the face of whatever. And that's part of my whole chaos thing, which I just described earlier. So it's like a good and a bad thing. You kind of see how that comes full circle? So tying this back one last time is, I realized a healthy relationship requires feeding it. And feeding it requires attention. And attention requires facing each other. And facing each other requires some sort of observance of each other. And that observance of each other creates some sort of love between each other. And that love between each other creates conversation between each other. And then the whole circle and cycle just keeps going and going and going, because life is always going to go in some version of a cycle, right? So it's like, whether it's life cycle, motorcycle, bicycle, like, it fucking keeps moving, right? Keeps cycling. And because it keeps cycling and keeps moving, why not put good fucking cycles into the motion? And if you understand dirt bikes, or you're broed out to any degree, it's like, you'll appreciate this metaphor maybe. It's like, the difference between creating a healthy life cycle versus an unhealthy life cycle is... Oh, there are fucking spiders on my toes or something? Sorry. Sorry, okay. Okay, let me get to this. You'll appreciate. No, so think about it like this. If you're a dirt bike bro, or you understand this by any means, to what it looks like to create a healthy life cycle, or healthy cycles of life amongst our relationships and our work and our this and our that and all these different things, healthy cycles would be to mix your premix and pour it in your two-stroke, and not pour the premix into your four-stroke, right? And that also means not pouring plain gas into your two-stroke as well, right? It's like, it's just, there's just rules to have your bike be on a good cycle. Then I guess you could look at this as like a woman's period too. And I'm sure you guys were not expecting that to come out of my mouth right now, but it's like, you can have a good cycle or a bad cycle, but what's going to add to it? Well, your diet, your mental health, your spiritual clarity, your overall clarity and cleanliness and purity, and the space that you maintain in your house, and the space that you maintain in your brain and in your body and in your spirit and with your family and in your relationships. Those all equal even a good menstrual cycle. You see what I mean? It's like, it's just crazy, because every version of, there's a cycle to something. There's a cycle to everything. And if we can bring awareness to the cycles of everything, then we can start becoming set free within our own mind, spirit, body, and soul.
Damn, dude.
So that's how I plan to escape chaos. Yo, that you guys might be like, yo, you're so wrong about the menstrual. If I am, so be it. I have so much faith that that's correct, that let's just run it. Yo, so no, but really, how can it not? And I learned that before, actually. But it's like, really, it's like what you eat is gonna fucking matter. Because think about it. Okay, I don't want to get too weird, but it's like what you eat affects how you smell. And if there's that, how's it not doing more, right? Like if the way that you smell says something, then it says something, right? It says something about the internal state of your body. So it's like if all you do is eat Cheetos and fucking drink Monster and, eat fast food or whatever, then you've got that like rot breath thing because your gut is just fucking disgusting. I mean, I guess everybody's gut's disgusting no matter how clean it is, but like, no, but really it's like it's filled with stuff that's not supposed to be there. And then when there's stuff that's not supposed to be there, it's going to cause blockages for different things to flow, right? It's pretty simple. Circulatory system, respiratory system. So it's like if your circulatory and your respiratory system, just those two alone, dictate your health, well, if your food dictates those two things, so that's going to equal good cycle, bad cycle, right? It's like you feed like the motorcycle example I gave, it's like you feed your dirt bike the wrong gas and you're having a fucking tough time, right? It's like you're not going where you want to go the way you want to get there. You're lucky if the shit even works at all, right? So it's like, how are you supposed to get started on your dreams if you're mixed with all the wrong shit in the first place? How are you getting to your dream destination if you don't even have the right gas? Right? If we don't have the right fuel, good fucking luck. And that's about all you got. Right? And then that's the other thing too, is like if your diet is all fucked, you probably don't even believe you have good luck. Because your brain's going to think bad things. It's just true. So this is why I think that plant medicines and ceremonies are so fucking important, and respect to plants and plant medicines is because it gives you the ability to heal your physical and your spiritual and your mental in ways that we can't understand in a conscious thinking brain. It's the energies of our chakras, of our body, of our entire system is made up of cells and atoms and all these living things. To activate all of those, to bring them to life, to clean them, to purify them, to cleanse them. Right? So that's the point of this stuff. So it's like if you don't know how to have a ceremony, well, ask somebody who talks about it. Reach out and ask somebody, what is this? What do you mean? Whatever. Listen to these episodes. Go listen to, whoa, damn it. Sorry. I keep spilling my, little jar of, Agua de Florida. No, but go listen to Sebastian's podcast. It Takes a Leap. It's like he talks about ceremonies in very, very, very like practical and modern and intelligent and very real life relatable ways. That it's like, well, whoever you are, it's like, well, fuck, this makes sense. And if you think it doesn't make sense, you're just denying something major. But it's like, right? It's like you just listen, get informed, get curious. And I think that's where it starts with anything. Just like I was talking about the chakras, it's like it's a matter of getting curious. Just like for me, creating a beautiful relationship that I have, it took getting curious. Why are all relationships fucked? Is arguing a part of every relationship? Is is yelling a part of a relationship? Is, you know what I'm saying? Is blame a part of a relationship? Is what, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm bringing awareness to these things. I'm bringing curiosity to these things so that way I can shape them and keep growing and maintain a level of curiosity and openness so I can keep adding goodness to it without having it be finite. You know what I mean? It's like imagine if every Christmas present was the same. It's like, no, like, can we have like something else now? You know, it's like, I appreciate you buying me the same fucking pair of underwear or shorts every single year, but it's like, you know, like, it'd be cool to have something else. You know, I don't know. It's just like, maybe that's a bad example, but it's like, it's more a matter of, it's like the same thing. It's like eating the same food every single day. It just gets kind of old and we want some different stuff. So for me, I'll just give an example, or I'll give an experience of what it's like in ceremony for me with plant medicines. And before I share that, I'm just gonna say, like, I want to create this context. And when I say plant medicines, I want you guys to understand that this is the context I'm speaking from, is that plant medicines equal ancient technology. And just like garlic, we can all agree that garlic has informational properties since it's had its informational properties since its inception. So the moment garlic was born, its ability to do its healing things for a human being with a cold or whatever you're using your garlic for, it's been able to do that for thousands and thousands of years, or however old garlic is, right? So it's the same thing with fucking tobacco, real tobacco. It's the same thing with sage, palo santo, weed, psilocybin, DMT, ayahuasca, wachuma, all these different things. So it's like there's technology inside of them. But it's like, how do you access and interpret the technology correctly and responsibly and safely? Well, this is where ceremony comes in. So it's like, how I view ceremony is the accessing of ancient technology that exists inside the plants, which in turn is why we call it medicine, because it heals and cures things that we can't see. So it's like, well, if I can just, drink this plant, eat this plant, and it now allows me to cleanse my thinking, to cleanse my dreams, to help cleanse my spirit. Now, here's the thing is, you still have to do that work outside of it. You can't just do this and you're just fucking good to go. You're just fucking fixed, or, shit doesn't work that way. It's like, for me, it's the accessing of ancient technology. So in a ceremony, you have somebody who uses music, songs, different sounds of nature, who essentially, my favorite phrase is, rolls on the journey for you. And when somebody who's good at it, they're able to roll it on for you in a way that's smooth and trustworthy and safe, and you've got the right dosage, you've got the right amount, you've got the right facilitators, you've got the right space, you've got the right intentions, you've got the right spirit, you've got the right setting, you got the right safety. All of those things are huge factors. And then having somebody who knows how to orchestrate the music and play the music and use the songs that are ancient and thousands of years old, and or knows how to access the songs or the rhythms or the words to use or the vibrations to hit and things like that. Because there's people who freestyle their songs and stuff, and it's just like, it's incredible. It's like, wow, you're just downloading that right now and you know the things to do and how to do it. It's like when you see some, like, even like on a more simple scale back levels, like a rapper freestyling, and you're like, how the and he's really freestyling, like saying stuff like pointing out the color of your shirt and the this and the that and things that are like really there. You're like, how is this guy feeding that information to his brain so fast? Well, that's because he's an MC of his ceremony. He's a master of ceremonies. So that's the thing, is like, when you have somebody who's an MC, a ceremony host, somebody who's the master ceremony, somebody who is and I don't mean master slave, or I don't mean master better than, I just mean, it's like, well, this is the guy conducting, and that's why MCing is called MCing, master ceremony. So it's like, if we apply that to actual ceremony, and it's like gathering around for a freestyle, that's a version of a ceremony, right? It's like, so it's the thing, is like, if you all took plants and you respectfully did that and you got around and you guys were fucking battling and whatever, that's a version of ceremony. It's not quite like as, I don't know, maybe like deep spiritually, but you're still hitting it. You know what I mean? You're still going deep. You're still tapping, and you're all tapping into that oneness. And that one person is just channeling. They can't repeat that shit back. You know what I mean? They're channeling it. So that's the beauty of this, is like, when you when people know how to do it and they can host it for you and they can roll it on for you and they can maintain it and they can take you through the journeys of the lessons of the technology of these plants. And almost how I see it is the songs are the explanation of how to use the technology. And it's not even how to use it, but it's like you get to experience it. It's like, here's a pretty relatable example, I think. It's like, let's say somebody hands you a video game controller and it's a simple game, right? Like, let's not get too complicated here. It's just a simple video game. It's like, that button is jump, that button's punch, that button's kick, this button's to move, right? These buttons are to block. Well, I feel like in a ceremony... Oh, sorry, I didn't finish explaining the rest of that. So it's like, if I explain how to use all the buttons, you can immediately start playing the game. And then you can start traveling through the different levels. You can start, fighting the different, or, like just going through the different levels. Let's say that, depending what type of game your mind created. So if the MC, the teacher, the host, the ceremony holder, the facilitator is able to explain the buttons and then say, here you go, here's how they work. Dude, why can I not quiet this? If they say, here's the controller, here's how it all works, play. So once you start playing, just because you know those little things, you can now start going through the journey. And I feel when you guys set the intention and you call in powerful spirit to protect you and all of that, and you're able to, and the facilitator is able to do that and you're protected, that's them handing you the controller and explaining the buttons. And then I feel like the ceremony as the songs are going is you playing the game with this controller you've been handed. And the medicine and the intention is the controller and the buttons, and the song is the gameplay, or the songs and the vibrations and the sounds and the methodologies and the smells and all of that. So the right music is key, and it's essential to be able to take you through these journeys of not just feeling intense, like, oh, that was orgasmic. No, it's more like to go through the lessons. If garlic has the property of clearing your sinuses and pores and fighting bacteria, then then the plant medicines have the ability to take you through the journey of healing your spiritual side of you, as well as the trauma and mental anguish and emotional baggage and generational baggage that exists within us and that we carry on, right? And it's like sometimes that baggage looks like us being so far the opposite of what that is that we create a new version of it for ourselves without realizing that that's actually still the same fucking thing. So for me, it's like, okay, well, what is the healing? How does that feel? What is that like? For me, it's like the journey is always, well, not always, but most often having to do with how I relate to myself and my thinking. And then that's connected to my relationship to my parents, my family, my friends, just my relationships in general, as well as my past pains and wins and experiences and gratitude and lack of gratitude and humbleness and arrogance and everything in between. And it's like I'm shown and exposed to all those things with each different song that plays, because one type of song will make me start thinking about my child, or it'll take me through the journey of my childhood. A next song will make me want to like take a journey through like purging and make me want to fucking puke everywhere, or have that feeling, or gross emotional shit just starts coming to the top and I can just get it out of there, like, you know what I mean? So it's like that sort of shit. Like for me, that's usually how it is. And then from there, there's the wind down, which is the next few days. And it's like the processing, the lessons that you've learned, they take time to set in. And sometimes when you're in it, you're like, oh my God, this is the most genius, brilliant thing ever. And then by the end of the night, you can't remember it because so many things occurred. So this is where, discussing the next day, checking in with yourself, journaling, some version of journaling, recording, talking to yourself, podcast, video, whatever, you do, thinking, having a conversation with yourself, whatever, to kind of like recollect all the things that you saw and whatever. And oftentimes you can't remember them all. So what's fascinating is that that information doesn't go away. It just kind of like presents itself when you need it. So since participating in different ceremonies and learning that ceremony is the way to go with plant medicines and stuff like that, going out to Peru and all that is like, I'm like, whoa, okay. I really see that like there's so much application that needs to happen and, analyzing of these things, because there's things that it's like I learned in ceremony like fucking, I don't know, like 6 years ago. And then just now I'll encounter a situation and then something from that ceremony pops up and it's like, this is how you handle that situation. I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't even remember that. I had forgotten that. Right? It's like, dude, I didn't even remember. I forgot that. Right? It's like, but then that's the thing. It's there and it's understood and it's been circulating and it's just been waiting to come out at the right time. So that's the thing, is you activate it in yourself. It's like preventative maintenance as well as cleansing what needed to be cleansed. It's like garlic. It's like, well, it's fucking good if you got a cold. And it's probably good to eat some even when you don't have a cold. Right? And it's like, to me, I see garlic as medicine. And food is medicine. So it's like, I don't necessarily think we should eat garlic nonstop every fucking day continuously. I believe you can overdo it. The same thing with anything else. And at the same time, it's like, regardless, garlic will remain garlic, and the informational properties of garlic will remain the informational properties of garlic. It'll grow to the size it grows, and it'll fucking rot at the time it rots, and it'll fucking, you know what I'm saying? It just does what it does. It'll heal when it needs to heal. It'll do exactly what it needs to do, because that is the technology and the informational properties of that plant. So it's the same thing. If you look at psilocybin, you look at ayahuasca, DMT, whatever, right? Like the respect and the doing this ceremoniously is everything. Because like I was explaining earlier, it's like you can have examples of things, but if you don't have context, then it doesn't even matter. It's still just like a lost cause. So it's like, to observe something with no context is to take away something that's not the truth.
Damn, dude.
Right? It's like if you observe something and have no context, you're not observing the truth. So it's like you can observe the truth of hold on. You can observe the truth of something, and if you have no context, how do you later understand it? Let's say that.
Damn, dude.
How do you later understand something if you have no context? So I think that's something that ceremony does, is like it like kind of puts context before the occurrence. And I think that's what's so powerful and so brilliant and genius about all this, is like you're provided contexts that prepare you for the future, as well as clearing the old ones. And maybe that's what clearing the old ones it creates the new one for you, you know? It's kind of like if you have a dirty toaster or something and all of a sudden you clean the whole thing, like deep clean it, like, damn, I don't even remember it looking like this. It's like the toaster didn't change shape or anything, you know, it just got fucking dirty. And now all you did was clean it and you're like, wow, it's unrecognizable. You know, so maybe that's the same thing with our old traumas or our way we view life or whatever. It's like when you've cleaned the old one, it's like you still live the same life, but there's like a new clean slate we get to come from. So, like I said, for me, it's always about like, or not always, I don't mean to say always. For me, it's always deep. It's always fun. It's always impactful. And I think if you're new to this stuff, like find somebody who knows what they're doing and can really help guide you through the whole thing. Otherwise, it's still easy. It's like, let's say you just fucking go take, it's funny, I was talking to my girl about this too, but it's like at the same time, you could go out to the woods with a bunch of homies and, take some shrooms and have an absolutely amazing and transformative time. Absolutely. But it's like, I think that also is because without realizing it, it's kind of being ceremonious in the same token, right? It's like, all right, we're going to plan to do this. We're going to be respectful. We're going to go out to nature. And it's like, there's a lot of factors that go to that. And I think that that's so fucking cool. So it's like, I think if you don't have anybody who can facilitate that, then go that way. Or, like I said, ask or just start learning more. Get curious, really. It's not like learn more. It's just get curious. I think that's one of the biggest things. And thinking about my homie Broughton, he's just very big. I don't know if he's ever even said that, but I just know that he's like that. And it inspires me to where it's just like, just get curious. And Sebastian's that way too. It's like, just be curious. And my girl's like that too. It's like, just get curious. Like, oh, what do you mean? Like, how so? And it's just, I love when people are like that, dude. Like, I love that, dude. Like, it's so fun and feels good. So that's something I have to work on, because I can easily catch myself being like, well, I know that. I've heard that. Or, oh yeah, I've seen that before. And I don't like to be like that. I like to be like, oh, okay, like, what did I get from this time? And then speak on it on behalf of right then and there. But yeah, anyways. But so what I realized is, like, the wind down the next few days after ceremony, you still get a lot of downloads. I recommend keeping your brain and your diet pure still and clean. Even if you just went out and did this with your friends in the woods or whatever the fuck, like, allow yourself to kind of have a wind down, not get into whatever. There's going to be a lot of emotional things that come up and go away and then re-come up, and things that you thought weren't such a big deal to you actually are huge deals to you still, and all this. But like, what I realize is usually like 3 days after a good ceremony, I'll kind of hit a wall, and it's like, I'll hit this like more depressing feeling, heavy sort of feel on like the third day after. And I've observed it happens for other people too. And at the same time, I don't know, it's not universal or, factual, but it's like, it is an observance and occurrence that I've noticed that is just kind of part of the journey. And that's the thing, is when you're shown so many beautiful things and insights, you're going to have to also observe the counter to that and experience what that feels like as well. And that's all part of the healing and the journey and the ceremony. And it's like, and more so, I should say, the information about whatever the fuck you learned, right? So I'm going to share this last little thing that's a little weird, but fuck it. So something for me that came up in one of the last times I had done ceremony was during the song. I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, I was just having all these crazy thoughts and feelings and visions and experiences of like me in a past life. And I don't want to fully like give this whole thing away or anything. So, okay, let's just say it like this. So I had issues with somebody in a past life who's in my life currently. And in that past life, I had these visions of we were like arch enemies and nemesis. And then now in modern times, we're cool. But in the past, it was like I ended up killing this person in this like past life or something. And then they ended up damaging my wrists in our fight to the death. And this is like past shit. And I might lose you if you're not into this shit, but whatever. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. This is real for me. And I saw that and I had my wrists damaged. And what's crazy is in real life, in this lifetime, if I were to put my hands out flat, like the gesture of receiving, it physically pains my arms, shoulders, and neck. So for me, just to put my hand out to like look for receiving or to be a receiving person, when I open my hands to receive, I experience pain. And that person wanted to have that upper hand on me in this lifetime. Now, the reason I talk about this is because I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. And how does that make sense? Like, what does that have to do with anything? And what's the difference between me not just going off of some idea I had versus this being a real thing? Well, I look at my ability to receive things and my consciousness and my level of it, and it kind of correlates to the way that my fucking hands work. Like, in order for me to receive, it equals chaos and pain. And that's basically how that's the thing, is like a lot of the spiritual things in my experience is it's like very metaphorical. So then when I see it in real life, that metaphor matches my real life experience. So for me, it was like, all right, like that, there's that metaphor of in my past life, we got in this thing, I had my wrist destroyed. So when I grow into this lifetime, I'm unable to receive, and receiving causes me pain. And that was the vengeance that individual wanted to leave me with. Right? We were at war, we were at battle, we were both trying to do what's right. So that's the thing, is I look at like my bank account or my this or my that, and I'm like, whoa, when I'm really open and I allow myself to be free and I'm stretching and I'm working out and I'm allowing my wrists to be, my palms to be up more and out more and all these things, I'm like, oh my goodness, like I didn't realize how hard it is for me. So that's where it's like, all right, I'm rechanging how I observe the chaos in my wrists and looking more so, how do I look to receive so I can give more? Right? It's like, I don't want to just take, receive. No. I want to be able to receive so I can give and do and help and be more for others. So I look at all this and I'm like, wow, that's just a big metaphor for, many things for me, for my physicalness, for my work ethic, for my business, for my way I relate to business, how I relate to others, how I relate to money and culture and society. All of those, they're all linked to that. So I'm like, all right, well, it's just, this whole thing's a process. And if I got shown that, it's not for nothing. So I've been looking at how it applies to my real life, and I'm like, whoa, okay. And with that thought, or that message, I should say, it's led me to start meditating more. And with meditating more, it's been practicing having my palms up in the sun, sitting on a rock, and just observing my breathing and scanning through my body, and spinning through my chakras and making sure they're all active and spinning the right directions, and practicing breath work. So if me receiving the message of that whole crazy past life thing equals me coming into my real life and practicing meditation, practicing exercising more, practicing stretching, practicing being a better person, then why would I not want that for my life? Right? So it's like, that's the difference of doing drugs or having ceremonies, right? And it's like, you can have ceremony without any sort of hallucinogenics or plant medicines or anything like that. You know what I mean? It could be breathing. It could be many things. There's many different kinds of ceremonies. So that's the thing is, but I'm talking about, like, especially if they're things that are known to be, like, I wouldn't even consider psilocybin a hallucinogenic. It's more like, because you're not seeing anything that's not there. You're more just tapped into what exists that you think is not there. Right? So it's like, it's seeing the in-between, seeing the ether. And if you look into Einstein or fucking Nikola Tesla or the other dude, who is it? Tesla ripped off or Thomas Edison? No, Thomas Edison sucks, doesn't he? I don't know. Let's just say Tesla and Einstein and like different Buddhas, they all agree that it's like, it's like what's in the ether and how you view and relate and can see and tap into the ether is what really dictates and determines the quality and outcomes of your life and your whole level of awareness and spiritual awakening or lack of, right? Because the lack of a spiritual awakening is also a version of a spiritual awakening. Or sleeping, I guess. I don't know. I just kind of pulled that out of my ass. But but that's the thing, dude. So I look at that and I'm like, okay, I go in and I receive these metaphors. And see, that's the thing is, it could be true. That could have happened in a past life. They could be completely true. And I don't know. I relate to it as true because if I relate to that vision and experience as true, then that means I'm motivated enough to come out and do something different in my actual physical real life And if I'm motivated to come out and do something better in my physical real life, then I would consider that positive, healthy, and a win. You dig?
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
With that being said, this is the Damn Dude motherfucking podcast. You dig? I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Life is as beautiful as we want it to be. It's as beautiful as we allow. 38, touch your face. Nothing hit. The last one's a pistol, and it's gonna be me and you.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
Yo, shout out to my son Nate. Bro, you are the fucking coolest dude ever. He's about to be 18 soon. That's fucking wild. Wildin' in Staten Island. Tell you what. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a beautiful motherfucking day. And please be sure to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell your best friends, cousins, turkey feather plucking butcher about the Damn Dude motherfucking podcast, because this could help improve his day and put better energy into the turkeys he plucks and that we eat. If you eat turkey, which I recommend, you don't eat fake turkey or fake meat, because that shit is so bad for you. Anyways, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.